Right then, hello everyone. I've decided to talk about my new bike, the Lexmoto Arrow. It's a 2014 bike, and I've just swapped my old scooter for this bike. The scooter was a Piaggio Zip. Now, I don't know where to start with this, mainly because I've really reviewed a bike before. But I'm sure I could find a way. So there are a few main things to talk about with this bike. The Lexmoto Arrow is obviously a 125, and it's believed that the shape and size and main components are based on Suzuki and Yamaha YBR-125, and I'm not sure what the Suzuki is. It might be a GM-125, I don't know. One of the two. So this and another bike called the Lexmoto Street are based on those bikes. Now, it isn't a fuel injected bike. It has a carburetor and a manual choke, which means that if you're not mechanically inclined, you're going to have some problems with the choke. I don't know if you can see that there. That's the choke. Controls the fuel to air ratio. Like all day, you're going to struggle to start the bike, and you'll need to adjust that. Other than that, good bike. You've got hazards, obviously. Good flashing lights, indicators. It's not going to be an in-depth review, obviously. Nice big mirrors. Quite a nice clutch. Clutch feels quite nice to me. I've ridden a number of 125s. YZF, Yamaha 125, CBO 125, I've read a number. So I have a fairly honest opinion. Obviously you've got your engine stop there, you can turn that either way. Throttle here, it's a bit loose, but it doesn't really cause me any problems while riding. Fuel tank. I did put a tank protector on, but I don't really lean over the bike that much. Speed, about 65 miles an hour. It's about average for a 125. Obviously you've got a storage rail there. I have throw-over panniers and a tail bag. Down here you've got side stand. There's a centre stand as well. I don't tend to put it on the centre stand unless I'm leaving the bike for a long time. Gear shifter, you've got a foot peg at the front, you've got foot pegs at the back. I tend to put these up. I do have them down just for the panniers. Knob. There's your engine, obviously. So, nice bike. It's in good condition. It's a bit dirty at the moment, but that's not too a problem. Suspension's quite nice. It holds the knocks out some bumps quite well, so I don't really feel things. It is a bit dirty on that side, so I'm not really going to show that. Obviously, you've got your exhaust system off the side of the engine, brake paddle, and then foot pegs just the same as that side. So, you want to see me ride it, I'm sure. That will come. Right then. Like I said, choke. Gotta make sure the choke's okay. Shiny tank. Shiny tank. Tank selfie. It has a mechanism in the kickstand which stops you from being able to start the bike if you've got the kickstand down, which is good, I suppose. Now you will notice you'll stall a couple of times because of starting. This isn't too bad. Oh, I say that. It isn't too bad because I have already ridden it this morning.
take over vocally from here. I'm going to add this afterwards, because I'm sure you just don't want to hear the sound of wind. But basically, I shift through to about third, move up along my road, and obviously get to this junction. Click down in second. It responds quite well. Engine braking, obviously, like most motorcycles. Switch that into first, pulls off quite well. Go back up into second, and I'm actually making my way to a fuel station, a Sainsbury's, because I have a Nectar card and I like to get Nectar points. Now, the main gripe that I have with this bike is obviously the choke. Maybe that's me being a new rider. I haven't really had this bike for very long, only a few days, so I am going to need to get used to it. However, the choke is, as I say, is a manual. As you're riding along, it will snap back into the off position after a while, but not fully. So you will want to make sure that you do turn your choke off. A lean mixture is not good for the environment. It's not good for your bike, really, and you have some struggles to get the bike moving. One thing I have noticed is if you're pulling off and the choke just isn't right, your mixture isn't right, you're throttling too hard, etc, etc, your clutch isn't right, you're going to pull some wheelies. And I don't mean full in the air wheelies. I mean your front wheel's going to come off the ground, and you're going to need to stabilise that bike manually, or you're going to have some problems. I'm sure it is the case with a lot of bikes. It seems to be more so with this one. It's nothing to do with the build quality. It is just based around the design and the weighting of the bike. There's nothing major. I had a scooter before I had this bike. I had a Piaggio Zip 50cc. So controlling the bike isn't too much of a problem for me, as being a fairly experienced rider. And I have ridden a YBR before. I have ridden CBR? Yeah, Honda CBR 125 and YZF 125. So I am fairly used to riding bikes, but it's not. You know, it's something you've got to get used to. I am hoping that in future Lexmoto will think about putting a fuel injector into the bike. I think that would really help the bike in general. I can't see it happening anytime soon, mainly due to costs. The price of a fuel injector is obviously quite high. Maintenance, well, not maintenance, the cost for the company to build one, to implement them into their fleets, is obviously quite high. And this is quite funny. I pulled up at a junction, put my visor up, as you can see, and I started trying to speak, but I really doubt you can hear me. I doubt it quite a lot, but you know, that's life. It's just something we have to get used to. Now, it is a Chinese bike, of course. Lexmoto Arrow 125 is a Chinese bike, and the comments and the general consensus from people who have not ridden the bikes is that they are poorly made, is that they don't ride well, they don't handle well, people say they're not good bikes. That is completely wrong. It's not fuel injected, so obviously it is a bit more of a struggle to ride than a lot of conventional bikes, but it is still so nice. It is so comfortable. You've got the rear luggage rail, which is this nice flat, I assume it's aluminium. I haven't done a ferrous test on it to see if it's got any iron components, but I will assume it is aluminium. So it's not like steel tubing like old ones. So it's quite nice, quite light. So you've got, you know, a luggage rail. The seat, very comfortable, very thick, very cushy. I intend on putting the windscreen on. I'm undecided what style of windscreen. I'm trying to keep a sports-esque look to the bike, so a very wide tourer style, tourer style or chopper style windscreen probably wouldn't suit it. I'm thinking more of an airblade, but that's in due time. The single headlamp to it has 2 bulbs, so that's, you know, you've obviously got all your light settings. Wouldn't really know how to review it, but I'm struggling at the moment. As far as the footage is going, there's not much to say, there's not much to see. If I can fit a microphone inside my helmet and actually talk about it as I'm riding, it'll probably help a lot more. But that'll come at a later date, so for now you'll have to handle my voiceover of dubious quality. Now, I had sunglasses on at the time. They didn't seem to work. This is winter sun, it's not good. But speaking of winter, it handles the cold quite well. You know, it doesn't really have a problem with it. Generally, it grips the road quite well. You can get some good lean on it going around corners, and for the most part, it's good bike. Good bike for these conditions. I haven't tested it in rain yet. Not major rain, major downpour or anything. I have tested it in light rain, and for that it handled it quite well. But generally, I am hoping for brighter weather. So that'll be something to look forward to. But here, observe me struggling to start the bike as always, and thanks for watching. More videos in future, probably, on Lexi, the Lexmoto Arrow. But in the meantime, stay tuned, and thank you